immigrant. I come from poverty. My dad raised a family of 5 on about $19,000 a year. When we were growing up, we used to eat something called banana peel curry. Not because it was good, because it's not. It's absolutely disgusting. But because we just didn't waste, and we didn't waste the banana peels. And so my mom made a dish out of it because we couldn't afford to, growing up, to waste anything. And so coming from poverty, coming from an immigrant background, I have 3 core values that have always guided my not-for-profit life. And in the last few years with Akira Impact, I've actually merged my for-profit and my not-for-profit life together. And with these around these core values, core value number 1 is that education changes the trajectory of people's lives, as it changed my own and as it changed that of my family. And I expressed that until a few months ago by serving as the chair of the Board of Governors for the University of Calgary, where I was the youngest chair and the first visible minority to ever serve. And we managed a budget of about $1.5 billion that affected a community of 40,000 people and is a major economic driver to our city and to our province of 1.4 million people. And for anybody not from Calgary, the U of C is now ranked in top 5 in research in Canada, and we are the #1 university for new startups in Canada, surpassing the University of Waterloo and the University of Toronto. I know, shameless plug, but just a little bit competitive.
I got a call from a government representative about 8 months into my role as president of the University of Calgary, saying, "Ed, we have found you the perfect board chair for the University of Calgary to work with you on issues associated with the university." And I said, "Great, who's that?" And they told me the person's name. I said, really looking forward to working with her and really looking forward to meeting her.
And my second core value is helping the world's most vulnerable. Again, as my family, it was help throughout our lives. And here I am, UNICEF all the time. So I've served on the board of UNICEF Canada for 6 years. I've served in multiple capacities with them and have been a donor to their women's giving program, specifically in the areas of maternal and child health.
Geeta joined the board of UNICEF Canada 7 years ago now, and became part of our national organization, representing UNICEF and working for children and children's rights in Canada as part of the global organization. As soon as Geeta joined our board, I think our collective IQ went up by about 100. She was so smart. She could ask me tough questions that really made me think.
And I also do a lot of work with an organization called the Palix Foundation, which is partnered with the Harvard Center for the Developing Child on early stage brain development and its impact on later stage mental health. And my third core value is supporting marginalized communities, again, as I was supported throughout my career.
I met Geeta was at the Petroleum Club in downtown Calgary, and she was introduced to me by a mutual friend. And from the moment I met Geeta, I knew I had to get to know her better.
When you go wide across multiple industries, or you're curious as an individual to have conversations, even if you're focused on one primary industry, but with people across multiple industries, what you're able to do is to spot trends that have the potential to turn into world-changing movements. And I'm frankly a deeply curious person. I'm curious about technology. I'm curious about purpose. I'm curious about nonprofits and volunteerism and where people are spending their time. And so one of the trends that I started to see over the last probably about 6 or 7 years is this trend towards a greater search for purpose within a younger generation, millennials and Gen Z. And this is a search for connection, for belonging, and for understanding how they fit into everything that we are doing. So they don't use terms like B2B or B2C. They look for where in the value chain can they have impact. And this is a trend that was turning into a world-shaping movement, this quest for purpose and for living a life that was more harmonious in terms of personal desires, personal impact, as well as planetary impact. And so I think just by observation and curiosity, I just noticed that this is a trend that towards sustainability that was starting, and it just happened to be something I was deeply interested in myself personally. And so that's why I got involved.
She was moving to Calgary to work with Rick Grafton, and she was an enthusiastic learner and wanted to know all about the then unconventional shale gas technologies. So my husband, Mike, brought her into Progress Energy, introduced her to a few people, and she met for hours with frackers and geologists and operations folks just so that she could understand every aspect of the business. And it's just one of those things when you first meet someone and that enthusiasm comes through, you just kind of see what the possibilities are, not only as a friend, but also as a mentor.
The most favorite part was about 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was pre-COVID, I actually spent a week in Calgary, and she asked me if I could spend some time with her team as they were kind of thinking about this new impact investing, venture. And we spent a whole afternoon in one of the boardrooms, whiteboarding a whole strategy around what eventually turned into what we now know as Akira Impact. So really, really enjoyed the whole whiteboarding, brainstorming, challenging each other, and that's absolutely true for everything Geeta does anyways, which is, our nickname is a question bank.
One of the things that Geeta stands for, which is, I think, really important for all women, is her financial ability and her financial capability. A lot of women want to be business leaders, and what I counsel all of them is, if you want to be one of the strongest business leaders, you really have to understand the financial markets, finance. You have to know how to finance projects. You need to know how to make money for people, because that's really what you're doing when you're in business. And Geeta embodies that, and has a long history in that, and is certainly a role model for many of the women in the Calgary community.
Geeta was always available, as her role of the role of the chair of the Board of Governors is a voluntary role. And despite all of Geeta's business interests around the world, Geeta was always available to me. I could reach out to her any time of day and night.
Her continual support and challenge in the way that she approaches things. She really is always there to make sure that we're doing the right thing, or that you're as an individual doing the right thing, and that you're pushing yourself to the best that's there.
Geeta's leadership within the community, both from a business perspective and a philanthropic perspective, has been extraordinary. She is a compelling speaker, and she is incredibly relatable to people that she meets across the spectrum. And I think that gift that she has is unusual and has been utilized to really benefit more people in a way that is unique, and has, for many people, given them an opportunity, whether it's women in business, whether it is helping to shape direction and leadership within our energy sector, and whether it's about our communities and helping and supporting change to, again, create more benefits to more people. Geeta has been an incredible advocate and effective advocate in seeing those changes come about.
My engagement in community involvement has shaped what kind of leader I am. It has shaped what kind of business partner I am. It has shaped the very type of business I'm actually involved in. It's helped me see trends faster than from within my sector, and it's helped me build lifelong friendships with people that I admire and that I learn from every day.
The thing that I admire most about Geeta is how tenacious Geeta is. When confronted with a problem, she thought hard about that problem and came up with very, very insightful solutions. But she wouldn't stop there. She would be just tenacious in making sure that all of the options were being investigated, all the options were being tested, and then action was being taken. So I think being tenacious is one of her unbelievable qualities.
A smart woman. And her commitment to a cause and to the cause of UNICEF and to making things better for children around the world, the passion that she would bring to our discussions and to convincing other people, other Canadians, to join our work, to find a way to get other people as equally committed to making the world a better place.
Is very enthusiastic, not just in her, in her work, but in her life. She's very innovative. She's an out-of-the-box thinker on whatever topic we happen to be discussing. As I said, she's positive. She's passionate. She's an advocate for women, which I also am. She's very moved by social enterprise opportunities that help immigrants, youth, social justice, and just helping one another and being supportive to one another in our city and in our country.
I admire so much Geeta as both loyalty and perseverance. You know that she's always there for you. It wouldn't matter how much you messed up doing something, she would be there to pick you up.
There are many qualities about Geeta that I admire. She has a fierce intellect, and I guess one of again, going back to qualities about Geeta, she's a person that you can, as a teen, she will say, "Pass me the ball, I will carry it across the finish line. I will make the goal, I will make the points." But just that ability to say, "I'm here, hand me the ball, I'll go." And that, again, with fierce intellect, really provides a real, somebody you can truly rely on.
Just watching her move to Canada about 10, 11 years ago with a complete, in a strange country, strange city, never, really had spent time. And then she's risen to the heights that she's risen to with the top 50 women, influential women in Canada, and of course, the impact she's now having with her businesses. To me, I think that itself is a very inspirational story. And every time I talk to her, just the positive energy that we get from her story is inspiring to me personally.
I'd like to really congratulate Geeta for this award. What a great credit to the work that Geeta has done here in the Calgary community and the role model that she is for women. Congratulations, Geeta. You've done a remarkable job, and we look forward to seeing more that you're going to do in the future.
Geeta, you helped the University of Calgary navigate some incredibly difficult times. I will always be grateful for the insight, the suggestions, and the support that you provided me as President and Vice Chancellor of the University of Calgary. Many years from now, people will understand some of the significant things that you got us to accomplish, and we will be really, really grateful.
Congratulations on your award. Well deserved. I applaud you. You are fantastic as always.
It gives me great pleasure to see Geeta get this accolade. This is one of many that she deserves, and she will probably get many more, during the rest of her life and her career. And I wish her the best of health, happiness, and prosperity.
Geeta, I am so extremely proud of you, extremely proud to call you my friend and see all the fantastic work you've done in our city, both from an economic perspective and bringing awareness to the strength of women in our city and our province and our country. And she's just an amazing value proposition, and she understands what that can do when you bring women to the table. So Geeta, you're a fighter, you're a winner, and you will always be remembered as a force to be reckoned with. Geeta, congratulations on this very well-deserved honor.
Thank you so much for the honor. It's an absolute privilege to be considered among a slate of just incredible candidates who are just some of the most incredible female executives I've ever met. They're actually just some of the most incredible executives I've ever met. And I count them as friends, colleagues, and in a number of cases, mentors. And so thank you so much. And of course, thank you to my husband, Trevor Fitzvincent, for whom everything I do, I couldn't do without him.